the first Terrifier from the Vexana, he can try and get an advantage then.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a unique comment coming in from Pi. He said that it was just a coincidence I was playing Terizla, and he'll stop if his Terizla does lose, but it's going to be an X-Borg and Baxia pickup. This is going to be Tazz playing the Baxia, I assume, and that would be very much new in terms of Season 13, because Tazz has been showing up with the carry heroes. How will he fare with the utility heroes now given to him, especially this Baxia?
That's an interesting pick, because in a way, usually you see the Baxia come in first, and then people will react to it with a Lilia, with a carry, to have the kind of damage, both physical and magical, to really shred down that tanky Baxia. Yeah. But picking it against them technically means that, you know, he'll be a bit more survivable compared to any other squishier, more aggressive heroes. So for now, we'll just have to see. The utility is there, the tankiness with the Firaga armor and the Baxia is there, but Bigetron, they're going for the Minotaur right here. So great peel, great utility. It's looking solid, but we've seen the Minotaur very easily punished against something similar in composition to Alter Ego, right? With the Eternal Guard, the Terrify, along with the Ruby now. There's a chance that Key will be in for a very rough time.
Yeah, I think super Key as well with that Minotaur. He is going to be carrying a huge task in trying to peel and open up the fights. And of course, for the draft here, Alter Ego does have that early to mid-game potential slightly higher compared to Bigetron, but it all comes down to how they want to play it in the Land of Dawn. Tazz and the Baxia will try to be much more of a utility jungler. He's going to be much more supportive in terms of that jungle or that aggression that he has to tone down. And Nino, I think, they will try to play through him in the Bruno. But here we go to the Land of Dawn. It's the opening match of day 2, week number 2. The Chaos Derby, the bloody derby. Expect blood here in Land of Dawn. It's going to be Alter Ego against Bigetron Alpha.
Full of chaos as we enter the Land of Dawn. Both comps looking to team fight all around, looking for that early advantage. Arashi, who has the advantage when we're talking about that early aggression and team fighting?
Early aggression and team fighting, I feel like the mid lane is pretty even. Both can really hold their own ground in a duel, in a 2v2. But the Baxia, I think, will output a lot more damage compared to the Barats early on, at least. And keep in mind, having a Minotaur means you have a sustained advantage, but wait, he is getting very, very low, very aggressive right here. He might get punished.
He might, but there is Moreno right there. Woo.
Yep.
To help them and get out Tazz, though. First onto the leaf, though, and will be able to get it without using his retry, so he'll have a very good time clearing out his own jungle.
Yeah, jungle fire now on the hands of Tazz, and that was almost a punish coming in from Alter Ego. Nino and Emman left on their own devices. Of course, this 1v1 will kind of be even, but Bruno does have that extra range that maybe could punish the carry if he does step too far for Emman. And so far, I think for Alter Ego, they just want to play this slow Bigetron. Still, with the active type of playstyle that they have, they want to really get going, get it on fire, of course, setting up the fire, especially for Bigetron now, having lost a few of the jungle objectives early on.
Yeah, the emblems right here though, Pi and Tazz both having some vitality, trying to go for a bit more of an HP pool, trying to survive from the burst damage coming in. Tazz though, of course, will have the Season Hunter along with Super Ken. They're all beating, but whoa.
Able to get out right now. Xorizo actually jumps in with a Vengeance, helped out by the knockup from Key. The more Vengeance stacks on, and Pi loses the Firaga armor, but Xorizo loses his Flicker. Definitely a winning trade for Alter Egos. BTR get level 4 on Xorizo first. Pi will follow very soon. Rossi go for the stun in the mid lane, that mid river. Kripe trying to help him out right now, trying to look for a pick. Terrify not connecting. Xorizo in the back now jumping in, over to Tazz as well, not able to connect on to that first skill, but finds the final slash. Rossi forced to flicker out right now, as Death to his welcome, will be able to connect onto Pi, and the stun comes in. Tazz is in that pit on 4 members, and will get shredded down. There's a kill back, and Kripe, of all people, is the one who steals away the turtle. BTR win the fight, but the neutral objective gets taken away by Alter Ego.
Bigetron were able to swing that back. They had all of the disadvantages. Alter Ego were able to pull that flicker from Xorizo as well in that early skirmish. However, they were still able to secure the kills. Luckily enough for Kripe, who was able to get that turtle.
I think he might have gone with the Vexana passive, the explosion when you get a kill.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate for Bigetron, but looking at the control though, the fact that Altrigo seems to rush in that kind of situation, instead of walking in cool, calm, with the right setup, I think it's showing again that Bigetron has more control when it comes to like when or how they're gonna fight it out. But of course, they gotta be wary of Kreit's damage. I think that was the main issue there when they were just moving on, trying to group. That Eternal Guard is one of the X factors they gotta look out for.
Well, I'm offended. Bringing them back into the Eternal Guard. That was really good. Minions Fury now by key to disengage. They get the disengage, but again, Alter Ego, we're not on that trade. Xorizo was pulled in, called upon to rotate bottom, and he will lose a bit of gold, a bit of prio in that XP lane.
Yeah, so of course, trying to respond to that pressure, and Pi was able to capitalize on the absence of Xorizo in the lane. Now, they want to try to shove this wave up towards the bottom turret, and Krite still with Tazz behind him. And Moreno and Key has been, moving in unison, trying to exert even more pressure towards Krite. So far, has been able to deal for himself. He's been able to self-sustain, especially with the Vexana, with the Eternal Guard that has proven to be very crucial in the fights.
Look at the player gold by UBS Gold right here. Emman is doing very well for himself, but Nino is higher there. So he is still making sure that this Bruno pick is not going to waste, and he's not getting really ganked a lot, considering that Supercan isn't on an assassin. The Barats has limited impact in that lane, and you have to remember for Krite, he has more utility right here, more poke damage with Impure Rage, because he's not going for the lethal ignition that we're used to seeing from Vexana to try and secure that burst kind of kill, but Moreno now gets jumped on.
So has the Purify. Key actually helps him out just a bit. Rossi going to be poked down Key as well, but Moreno has lost a bit of HP. Xorizo up top looking for the little XP, but he actually got Pi's Faraga armor all the way super low now. He might actually go and follow it up. Faraga armor gone right now as that Welcome comes in again. That's a retribution this time from Super Ken. And the Minions Fury is able to knock out 3 members. Tazz coming back in with Poisson. Mon is actually rotated faster than Nino and is dealing damage to Rossi. I'm offended, bringing him back. Key very low, but he's still going to be able to survive as Rossi gets taken down. Xorizo in the back with the vengeance. Slays Krite and Nino. Despite all the damage, he isn't able to find any of the backliners, though he will be able to find one. A very, very overextended Xorizo. 2 to 3. And the neutral objective, and Mon wants to go for more. Just gets that Faraga armor and goes into that minion wave.
Yeah. Pi wasn't able to kind of frontline the fight because his Faraga armor was chunked down by Xorizo. Xorizo was able to isolate him. But the gold laners were rotating in time. And Man was there to dish out the damage. So did Nino to carry out the fight in that last portion of that fight. So far, still even for both teams, but for Bigetron, they have more kills, but the gold lead doesn't really translate to it because they're still quite close in that department.
Still a huge back and forth, but the neutral objective game definitely now favors towards Bigetron. They're going to try and maintain that lead, and Emman is going for a very aggressive build here. Corrosion side, even though he's up against a quote-unquote unfavorable matchup.
Yeah.
We've seen some carries go for the Thunderbelt in that situation, but not Emman. He has that confidence, and on the other side, Xorizo is doing a great job just pressuring, kind of coming out ahead in the lane against what is usually expected to be a lane bully, the X-Borg. Pi is just getting shut down, not really getting a lot of advantage. So without his kind of pressure, Alter Ego, they're kind of struggling to find meaningful control around the map.
Yeah, Thunderbelt not acquired yet by Emman, but they want to try to engage Pi, trying to frontline this fight. Tazz, of course, is going to engage now for Alter Ego. No fight. They're disengaging, and for Bigetron, just trying to push up the pressure for Alter Ego as well. They're still trying to figure out which side that they want to kind of, exploit. And turtle fight coming up. Tazz ready, up in the wings. Rassi as well, close to him in the proximity. Meanwhile, for Super Ken, he's also ready, called upon.
50-50 again this time on the turtle. Tazz with that shield unity already. Rossi going to be poked down right now as Tazz jumps into the midst, but it's Minions Fury and the final slash lock him down. Death is welcome, stunning him up, and it's Super Ken who finds the win. Emman very low, one last shot to find him. Pi burns him down in the back with the last insanity. Emman is down. He will surely follow next. He does not have any backup. Nino balls him down. Xorizo's recalling, but Nino almost caught him. Nino's definitely a man on a mission right now. It's a 2-for-2 trade in the end with a neutral objective going to the red robots.
Yep, it's their swing now. Nino was able to really hit that much damage. Emman, it was so unlucky for him to be chunked down that fast, and he wasn't really able to participate in that fight. So Alter Ego was able to really push up. Bigetron lost one of their main damage dealers and their carries. So that fight was really in favor of Alter Ego, even though the neutral objective was still in contention.
Looking at the goal difference though in the game so far, the side laners for Alter Ego really are gaining momentum, but can they make that work? The jungle, the mid and the roam still is at an advantage for Bigetron. They have ways to really push through now, and now that thing there would be predictive of Alter Ego trying to make aggressive moves towards Emman. They know that they're gonna just run through and they can just plan counters for it.
Supercan getting melted down. He has Death as welcome, able to find Tazz right now. The Eternal Guard, and oh my god, the burst from Krite. That glowing wand, first item, is doing him a lot.
Yeah, the glowing one will be so good, especially to chunk down frontliners with the bird as well. And so far, it has been quite a swing for Alter Ego, even though Bigetron still holds the gold lead to 1.1k up, and Alter Ego everywhere on the map, but I think Rassi gets Bigetron.
Oh, I'm offended, gets knocked up 3 times, finds that I'm offended, but Emman is still able to disengage right now as Moreno jumps in. Oh! He wasn't even able to pop in the black shoes! My god, Nino! With the damage, the worldie, and the crit!
Massive miscalculation for Moreno right there. He didn't think he was gonna get chunked that hard, and then xorizo gets jumped on.
Don't think he's gonna be able to survive this one. The vengeance is not gonna help him in that situation. Supercan knocked up, and Nino is online 4-0 and 3 to snowball for Alter Ego. Nino on the Lord, now with a Melphic Roar. Not even Key can really withstand the damage. Supercan brought back by Pi. Key having to help him disengage. Lord number 1 gonna be taken away by Alter Ego for free.
Great momentum play for Alter Ego right there. Finding the chase, finding the long fights. Instead of going for a big engagement where the Minion Fury, the final slash from Bigetron can make a difference, they went for the prolonged, slow chase where the Don't Run Wolf Kings, where the Shield Unities can really pay dividends for Alter Ego. They know their strong suits, and they shut down Bigetron's attempts even before the neutral objective is up. It's almost like a form of long-term objective setup.
Yeah, and Nino is just a sleeping giant, able to get his hands on his kind of crucial items that Maleficor as well. He's able to chunk down so much damage, so much health bars, and that process of that crit. That was insane, and Nino could possibly be the key to winning this first match in the first game, because so far he has been performing really well. 4-0, didn't really, was really able to handle all the pressure coming in from Bigetron, and Nino, of course, they have to look out after him, especially for Bigetron. Not even the Black Shoes was able to save Moreno in that last fight.
We're talking about Siege. Alter Ego have amazing Siege, man. They got that Bruno to hit these turrets, tanky frontliners that can also hit these turrets. Should be able to take every single turret except the base turrets here, and they're already working on it. Tier 2, take it for free in the bottom side of the map by the Lord. Finally, they deal with that Lord in the bottom lane, but Alter Ego are pressuring every single lane. Another turret going to Alter Ego up top. Only one Tier 2 left, and it's the mid lane.
Yeah, this could be a statement as well for Alter Ego. They don't really need, they don't really need to rely that much on Tazz. When you have other talented players as well, when you play for them, they can also carry you. And Alter Ego will bring that dynamic in the upcoming matches, but so far they still have to focus on this one. Not finished yet. They try to get that Tier 2. It's not going to really fall in their hands.
Well, Alter Ego, they just try to brute force that turret, but it was, withstood by Bigetron. Conveniently for them, though, Moreno has finished the glowing wand, so the techier frontline members will be taking a lot more percentage HP damage, and Key now has a flask of the Oasis, so Emman can be a lot more aggressive right here, as Pi just waits for an opportunity, but alone, not really possible for him to try and make anything too crazy happen. He has the Brutus Breastplate and the War Axe, so the damage and the movement speed will definitely aid him in chasing down the backline of Bigetron. But as you mentioned, Realize, for Nino, 4-0 and 3, he is no stranger to carrying the game. Even now with a Wind Talker, he's going to be outputting a lot of damage. I think if Bigetron wants to go for a fight, they have to try to find a way to really zone him away or crowd control him. Because if he's free hitting, I think he is out-damaging Emman big time as of right now.
Yeah, especially that range as well from that Bruno will really isolate Emman in the fights, and not much action as well going in the side lane, so they can't really try to push out. They don't have priorities in both top and bottom, and now Lord is in the eyes of Alter Ego. Supercat has to withstand this.
Oh, Denter's welcome. He's all alone. He's going to be bursted down. He with a flicker forward, finding Nino and 3 members, but he's all alone. Both the frontliners taken down. Pi able to distract in the back as well, and Alter Ego will be the ones winning out of the skirmish, winning out the Lord battle once again. 2 Lords to their name.
It's insane how Pi is still able to zone out the players of Bigetron with an X-Borg, and that's just insane. Coming from not able to get his hands on the Terizla, that's not a problem, because he's still able to perform and deliver in this fight as Alter Ego seek out a siege towards that mid turret.
The creative use of the final slash for xorizo to move the minion away to delay the turrets being sieged down by Alter Ego, but with the Lord, they're gonna try and get at least one. So Bigetron, they gotta try and find a way right here to really threaten and maybe bait some of the skills out for Alter Ego, and then maybe go for a cheeky play, because they have to try and get something, try and make something happen right now.
Yep, they're trying to siege out, knocking on the doorsteps, but the Black 2 saves him. Moreno still able to withstand everything, but now Alter Ego closing their steps on the base of Bigetron.
Nino is chunking everyone. The frontliners are no longer frontlining against this Bruno. 14 minutes in.
The frontliners are pretty behind for Bigetron, so for right now, it seems like they just have to play it as safe as possible, and they just can't rely on being able to tank Nino out. Even with the Flask of the Oasis, Nino is going to burst through that very, very easily. But I feel like, especially in the previous fight, they were just a bit disjointed. The plays happened without everyone being in this right spot.
Oh, no, what is that? Super King with the Denter's welcome. He tried to predict, but he got absolutely outplayed. Rossi, what a play! Baiting out the Denter's welcome, catching him with the I'm offended, and outbraiding him.
Harry Houdini cosplay by Rossi was moving in the shadows. Look for Rossi, looks for another pull, misses it. And Alter Ego, they're able to really get these pickoffs, and in the team fights, they're able to win it out as well. Nino is just so fed right now. And for Bigetron, it's going to be another challenge for them to try to shut down this carry.
Even now, if they want to try and go for the other targets, except for Nino, because he does have the Purify, Krite has the Winter Truncheon as well. So now even their counter possibilities are just preemptively denied by Alter Ego through itemization, through positioning. With their jungle being taken away, with no base towers available, it doesn't even look like they're going to be able to contest for the next neutral objective. Although, on the bright side, the game is getting longer and longer. Past 15 minutes, that's usually where the team that is behind in goal can kind of catch up as far as items goes. But at this point, even with the right items, how are they going to solve this problem? The backline getting zoned away by the X-Borg, and the front line is getting shredded, getting chunked down, and crowd controlled by the Ruby and the Vexana before anything can even happen. Yeah. Alter Ego are the ones deciding what is going to happen in the fight.
Yeah, Bigetron has to stem this bleeding. They're bleeding. They're bleeding desperately. For Alter Ego, they have their hands first trying to induce this chaos coming in. The Bigetron, they want to contest this Lord as one of the initiators hiding in the brush. Oh, nice final slash.
He finds Rossi, Minus Fury right now. No flicker, followed up. Last Insanity coming down. Rossi will lose his immortality. Pi will lose his Paraga armor, but that's about it. Moreno already used it. Oh, Nino is 1 HP. Barely gets out, has the house claws. He should be able to sustain back up, but there are no creeps in his jungle. He's finding it very hard to find something to hit, to get that regen off. And because of that, now Bigetron Alpha will be the ones holding on to the Lord. But Alter Ego, look at how disciplined they are. They know the mini waves are pushing in into Bigetron's base. It is the long game for AE.
Yep. The minions pushing towards the base, priority in 3 lanes. So now Lord should be able to be secured by Alter Ego. And yes, Bigetron disengage. They want to try to reset everything. But this is going to be a hard game for them.
That's the damage coming in from the Lilia, man. Nino, I think he was caught a bit off guard by that as well. Only 1 or 2 Dark Matter energies, Dark Matter Blast, and he's already taken out of the fight. But with that sustain, with the fact that they were able to just delete Key in that fight, they just go for it and just wait on the minion waves. That's why the base turrets are just so important right now. With the Lord, with all the damage available to them, technically, they have to rely on Nino to really output the structural damage. So Bigetron, they have a good chance of defending this. Lilia is suited very well to try and burst down the Lord. Alter Ego, they gotta try and do something creative here. Not just walk and march through in with the Lord, because I think Bigetron are very prepared for that already, and they have caught up to the gold disadvantage. Even Emman is at full items, and he is not going defensive, man. Not tanky, he's going full damage.
Yeah, they have good high ground defense. Pi wants to try to beat this out. Rassi, good pull.
Onto King, flicker backwards. Xorizo looking for a play right now. Tazz gonna be melted down for now. Pi in the backside with last insanity. Now losing the Braga armor, going back at it.
Nino.
Xorizo gonna be shredded down. Emman doing the same thing over to Tazz, but only is gonna be the immortality. That'll knock them to the base. Is wide open for Alter Ego to take a stay on the base, and they will secure game number 1 against Bigetron Alpha.
That was insane. Alter Ego finally able to slash that final blow towards Bigetron.